Howdy friends, this video is all about students presenting their screen, whether it is an iPad, Android tablet, or a Chromebook. They're able to present to the entire class via Google Meet. A few years ago, Google had available something called Google Cast for Education, and this is their substitute. But I want to talk about the best way to possibly do that. So that way you have a good workflow and it's a little more secure. So you have within Google Classroom the option of having a Google Meet link, and you can access that in the settings and making sure that you have your Google Meet link visible to students. Now, what that does mean is that students could just jump in. What I am going to do as the teacher is I'm going to make sure that quick access is turned off. So I'm going to join this meeting. I'm going to click on the shield and turn off quick access. This would allow the students to just present. I'll show you what I mean. If I click on the Google Meet link as a student, you'll see that because I turned off quick access, it says that I can't present. So how do you work around that? You could have the students join, but if you do that, then the students have to take extra steps. You're going to deal with a camera issue. Their face is going to be up on the screen. If you really want it to be, that's fine. And their microphone will be on. You'll get all kinds of feedback. And not only that, but then they'll have to scramble to the bottom corner and they're going to have to hit present. And there's just a lot of extra steps. So you can simplify it. Why I turned on, I'm going to go back to the teacher screen. Why I turned this on is because this forces students to have to ask to join a Google Meet. So that way you don't just have random people jumping into the presentation. It keeps it locked down to just those that you want in the presentation. So to make that secure, what I will do as the teacher is click on the silhouette of people, click Add People, and I'm going to add this student direct. And this student is the fake student. And whether they have access to email or not, it doesn't make a difference. So now I, as a student, I'm going to close out of Google Meet, go back to Classroom, and click on the Google Meet link. So you can just set it up that quick access is on. You can invite the student directly. Because the student is invited directly, now it says present and it's no longer grayed out. And it forces other students to have to ask to join the Google Meet. And I have that in another video. I will put that in the comments and you can access that there. So now the student would hit present. They have the option of which Chrome tab they want to share, or they can share their entire screen, depending on what you're wanting them to accomplish. So if you're wanting them to share something that's in Google Classroom or something that they worked on in Google Classroom, then they're able to present that screen up and scroll through the page and talk about what is on there. So if you have touchscreen Chromebooks, you can zoom in on the screen and move around and do all kinds of stuff. Now, it is a little pixelated. It's not super duper clear. There is a little bit of a lag, but it's not too bad. So now the student, they can just exit out of the tab or hit stop, leave the Google Meet altogether. Or if the teacher wants to and add a new student, they could do a couple of things. They could just remove the student from the meeting. And they could add a new student to the meeting if they wanted to. And then have that student join when it's time. If you're completely done and you're not going to be adding students to the meeting anymore, then what you can do is click on the phone and hit end the call. And by doing that, students can't jump into the Google Meet anymore. It'll make it inactive until you open up the Google Meet link again. So now the student may try to go through Google Classroom and click on the link, but it'll indicate to them that they cannot join it until you've activated that link. Once I go back into Google Classroom and I click on this link again and I join the meeting, and because the fake student was invited, they can still join and they can still present, but I have to have that open. If I close it out and end the call, it becomes inactive for both and all students. I hope this was helpful to you in your class workflow and having students present.